Jamaica. Thank you for joining us. Ooh, and now we're up to 40 attendees. You all tell your friends that tonight we're feeling extra special, extra spicy, extra fancy, and we're YouTubing live. So if they weren't able to cop a ticket, you can shoot
this is YouTube.
To the people. Hi, Jamaica. Ooh, that was my voice. So I'm gonna drop the YouTube live link, and folks can still make it right. They feel so inclined.
The chat is popping. Thank you. We got 48 people here.
Adam, tell us what you're cooking in the chat. I want to know. I'm curious. All right, I think we're waiting on. Oh, we got Victoria. Hi, Vic. Hi, baby. Okay, we're waiting on one more person, and then we are getting started. Ooh. Adam's making pesto. I love a good pesto. All right.
Good.
Let's see.
Some stuff from the farm.
If y'all hear a really spunky dog in the background, that's my little nigga ball. He's been on one.
Y'all want to play a game with my boo's little language card?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, okay, before we get started.
Let's play smash or pass with fruit, okay? Smash.
Ooh.
Okay.
Smash.
I would smash that, yes.
With a little tahini?
Pass. For me. Pass.
Wait, are we talking about smash as in eat?
Yeah, smash or smash as in eat or pass as in fuck that shit.
I'm embarrassed.
Pass.
Pass.
Let's in a smoothie. Pass.
Who this right here? I think somebody volume ain't working. Who did right here? Who did new? I don't know. Do we know?
Who's new?
Victoria. I can't hear Victoria.
Oh. He's back now. He's unmuted.
Victoria talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a peach or nectarine?
That's a nectarine. It don't look fuzzy.
Smash.
Yes.
Smash.
Get that fuzz out of here. Can't do it.
Grapefruit.
Pass.
Hell to the no.
What?
Hell to the no.
Unity.
Y'all are violating.
Pandemic.
Everything.
I am grapefruit up in this pandemic. Okay.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
I just
Pomelo? Y'all tripping.
No.
All right, Nez, one more.
Okay, wait, that's the next. Okay, wait, hold up. We just go.
Get Pear out of here.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna smash.
How you feel about pears, Nessie?
Pears is the bomb.
I'm gonna smash the pear.
I know how you feel about pears.
Oh, a good crunchy one?
Ooh. The crunchy one, even like slices of cheese and brie. Girl,
Excuse me?
You got a party on your plate. Yeah.
All y'all canceled. Canceled in the apocalypse.
All right, smash.
All right. What a lovely way to open. This is my favorite opening of all 3 nights. Oh my God, of course. Hi, everyone. We are still, them numbers are climbing by the minute. Hello.
People are here.
What's up? Welcome. And thank you so much for joining the Quarantine Reading Series. My name is Aria Marie. I am a poet. I am an essayist. I am my background is in community organizing. And I as I tend to do, tweeted recklessly an idea that I had, and niggas jumped on board, and I was like, oh shit, guess I got to do it now. No, but what this really is about is, there's so much madness happening in the outside world. COVID-19 is really isolating a lot of us, particularly folks who depend on face-to-face community, especially the writing community. There's a lot of folks who I know, who I love, who are dependent upon gigs, who are dependent upon their community showing up for them to make it from month to month. And a lot of us are really hurting, just like so many of you who are joining us tonight. And so what I want to do is, have a night where we turn all of that off, we gather together, we just have a little bit of fellowship time as much and as well as we can, and let the poems be the bomb, because that's what they're here for. And so if you're already joining us, that means that you contributed, and we're really, 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 really appreciative. And you're helping, Black, Indigenous, Latinx folks and other folks of color and LGBTQIA folks who are poets and writers continue to sustain themselves. So thank you, all 86 and counting of you. So what I'm gonna do is introduce Well, no. First, I'm gonna do housekeeping because, like every other open mic / reading you've been to, we got a little bit of that. And then I'm going to introduce our poets. We're going to read all of our bios and save our feature bios for when they're up. Then you're just going to hear some poems back to back to back. Is that all right? Cool. All right. And that reminds me. So one thing we would all be doing together if we were in the room with each other right now is talking trash, asking questions, amening, yes ma'aming, word, go in, poet, whatever. And I know you're doing it. I just can't hear you. So what I've decided to do is not, shortchange myself. I want to hear y'all. So what you're going to do is get live as hell in the chat. Now, tonight is the finale. Okay, this is not any regular Sunday. It is Friday. And what that means is y'all got to show up all the other motherfuckers who came on Wednesday and Thursday and show out. So if you hear a word or a line that blew your mind, where you going to put it? In the chat. If you ready to, if not be looking real good while she's spitting that shit, where you going to tell her? In the chat. If one of us has a booger in our noses, especially me, because it's allergy season, where you going to tell me? In the chat. Okay, there we go. And feel free to, be as tender, as intimate, as loving, as vulgar, as explicative as you want, because this is a space for all of us to just kind of feel each other. And, there's a lot of time to feel alone and be alone. Tonight ain't that night. All right. So thank you. Okay, I see us popping. Who is this? Did somebody pay me a compliment? Thank you. Thank you, JP. Fran. Dinesh just said something. Whatever, Dinesh. DC Chapman, Jiffy. There we go. Y'all got it. Keep that shit up. If it ever dies down, I'm calling you out. I'm talking trash. I want y'all to know that right now. All right. Let's get into these bios for a little bit. And then we're going to hear some poems. Is that okay with everybody? Okay, cool. I'm just pretending that I hear all of your voices like, yeah, Elle, that's cool. And I'm like, all right, great. So up first, we have a good goddess. Cynthia Manick is the author of Blue Hallelujahs, out from Black Lawrence Press, and editor of Soul Sister Review, a poetry compilation, Jamii Publishing 2019. She has received fellowships from Cave Canem, Hedgebrook, McDowell Colony, be quiet, Baldwin, and Chateau de la Napoule, among others. She's the winner of the Lescaut Prize in Collected Poetry, and Manick was awarded honorable mention for the 2019 Furious Flower Poetry Prize. She is founder of the reading series Soul Sister Review and currently serves on the editorial board of Alice James Books. Shout out to Baldwin in the background. Also hype about Cynthia like you should be. And just so you know, Cynthia's Venmo is at Cynthia Manick. So if you hear anything dope tonight and you'd like to throw a little something her way, fuck capitalism, but we are in the apocalypse, and anything you have, we really appreciate it. Her Venmo is at Cynthia Manick, and I'll go ahead and put that in the chat a little bit later. Up next, after that, we have Vanessa Angelica Villarreal, who is joining us momentarily. Vanessa was born in the Rio Grande Valley to Mexican immigrants. She's the author of the collection Beast Meridian, a 2019 Whiting Award recipient, a Kate Tufts Discovery Award finalist, and winner of the John A. Robertson Award for the best first book of poetry from the Texas Institute of Letters. Yes, her work has appeared in the New York Times, Paris Review, Boston Review, Los Angeles Review of Books, the Rumpus, Academy of American Poets Poem a Day, BuzzFeed, and Poetry Magazine, where her poem Root Future was honored with the 2019 Friends of Literature Prize. She's a Contomundo Fellow and is pursuing her doctorate in English Literature and Creative Writing at the University of Southern California in LA, where she's raising her son with the help of a loyal dog. Up next, my baby Malcolm Tariq is from Savannah, Georgia, and is the author of Heed the Hollow, winner of the 2018 Cave Canem Poetry Prize. If you haven't copped it already, I'm only shaming you a little bit. You still have time. It's out right now. Go ahead and cop that shit. And Malcolm's also a nominee for the 2020 Georgia Author of the Year Award. He lives in Brooklyn, New York, and is the Programs and Communications Manager for Cave Canem. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you so much for supporting the institution. Then after that, we have Amani Davis, who is a queer Black writer from Brooklyn, a Pushcart Prize nominated poet. They earned fellowships from the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, the Lambda Literary Foundation, and the Stadler Center. The Sadler Center. Their work appears with PBS NewsHour, The Offing, Best of the Net, Adroit Journal, The Rumpus, and elsewhere. Yes. And then, oh, great. There we go. I did right. I didn't mess up. And then we're going to introduce our features a little later on. Yes. All right. So without further ado, I want you to woo it up in the chat. And what I mean by that is exclamation points. I want capital letters, okay? I want to hear snaps with them little I'm from the South. How you say it? Asterisk. I want all of that, right? Because we got our first poet coming up. I want you to make that mic hot for her. Give it up for Cynthia Manic, everybody. Cynthia, take it away.
Thanks, guys. And thank you, Ariel, for that lovely, hot introduction. Okay, so I'm going to read 6 poems. First poem is called Self-Portrait Number 5, Phoenix and Lullabies. Some people think I was born savage, biting at hands, clouds, and daggers with no softness to be found, but I contain whispers. Bright coral beads stacked, the language of blood jostling against itself, coconut oil. Curves molded by my mother's thumb, broad bones and something wild. Sometimes I'm a brown-bellied songbird who knows the tongue can be a land not beaten, the hot arc ache in someone's back while the TV's on. Or I can be a pistol. It covers all my gristle, barbs, blue and yellow howls, and the ragdoll heart, where I shook off my father's baritone the day he left, I turned Brine Lake. That never stirs the same way twice. Salt, assholes, and smiles. It's not a lie to say I'm still learning to love the frames of undressed trees, my glasses, the Medusa hair that defies every comb, red pomegranates, my baby self, the little girl inside who still craves model trains, Josie and the Pussycats cartoon, and wonders about the spaces between the teeth and the ribs. Thanks, guys. Okay, so this next poem is called Is This Your Sky or Mine? Is this your sky or mine? I try to quantify what we inherit. Dancers' legs that know how to roam, but be church pious by morning. The ability to fold shirts into a perfect square, or the street walk that says, I'm a willing dove, but need no man or pierced jewelry. I've learned that when the grease bubbles, you put the fish in. Nail polish will stop a run in any stocking. Did you mean to build something that lasts? I want to give you a cinematic backstory, far from Southern charms and swamp boys, but I can't picture your shift from girl to woman, mine but not, strong but not. You tuck the girl in so the belly doesn't roll, curl the feet like commas. The body just births more questions, and that's my future. I have always been quietly wild, and I'm sorry for talking too fast too much, but I'm trying to catch all the unanchored parts of you. Rough magic, farm tales of double yolked eggs, a collage of memories trapped in photo albums because you rarely cover old ground. I think every poem I write is about you, Mama. Thanks, guys. Okay, so this next poem was a hard one to write, so big ups to Vita for Review for taking it and publishing it next month. It's called Dear Future Body. Keep your skin thick. Yesterday, my legs were propped in stirrups. As the gyno said, you should go on The Biggest Loser. I heard cities at the skull base stuttering over each other, vying and vowels of your roles and the garden under your chin, the implied real estate of don't you want to be beautiful? unmade and remade. We have known the trap of nameless and hungry BMI indexes. Dear God, in sample size fashion, I escape and get caught in the same geography again and again. I forget I am more than a house of great bones, of Vaseline and Werther's originals. The caucasity of a well meaning, she has such a pretty face. I'm writing to tell you about a type of war. People carving the cavalry horses to survive, the red outline of social media models, and how many calories is this bottle of air? What else can we eliminate? I always thought the planet Pluto was a black girl, now downgraded and mostly out. Dear future body, take a break today. Tell me, how are your kisses? Sometimes they give birth to promises, a season in the word, all in oxygen at the ready. Are you someone's night bloom? Remember to trace what remains, the prayers your mouth learns. I want us living, not just alive. Nabila, your face is hilarious. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna do two more poems. This poem is called "There Are No Unsacred Spaces." I'm trying to tell you that the world is beautiful. All the hellos we say in a week or a month, the way the grooves of the grin knows what to do. Think about the first time man went from 4 legs, hairy knuckles folded over to two. The moment the spine realized it could brace against its cage, that the bones wouldn't splinter or spark, the sound that escaped. From that height, where did the eyes look first? I bet he wondered about who feeds the sun, who can stand next to him. I'm trying to tell you something about the universe. You connect each lake and ocean with a pencil. They mirror constellations. The barking stars are dimes. They know about the tenderness of orchids as if their size were made to contain opposites, like we contain opposites. They know that the surf never takes everything. A body always documents where it's been, down to the horseshoe crab. I'm trying to tell you that it's okay to curse God a little, that your mother keeps giving you plants that you overwater or underwhelm, to crest burden over joy, fire over water, because hurt can get so loud sometimes. I'm trying to tell you that history doesn't begin with language, with words on top of words. Latest dating app has welders and endangered blacksmiths that enter every space with their craggy, rough hands. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm doing one more. Let me hydrate. Okay, the last poem is in the first poem actually in the anthology. And so it's called I Wish the Trees Could Sway to Marvin and Aretha. Because sometimes I forget soil can do more than hold wooden or metal boxes. It pulls on elements my shins have long forgotten. There are 7 different words for dirt in French. We hear what is left in the woods, children with 12 fingers or webbed toes. I used to pray for normal appendages, often stop myself from talking out loud, singing where others could hear, but we know of hush tales. Somebody is calling my name about where wounds used to go, to the trees, swinging someone's black uncle or son, sometime daughters under steady stars, bright as birthday candles we can't blow. But let's not talk of dark histories of how you and I are still alive, like 3 flowered maples or perennials unculled, or how standing on a hilltop, just over there, with headphones, a seashell of Motown and Aretha, you forget the universe is expanding, as if the gods are tired of our sand and stone, bones, brutal ozones. The oldest tree is over 4,000 years old. But what if the bark don't hold like it used to? The bloom turns shallow because you can die from survival, you know. It's like working 3 jobs, the weight of limbs in winter. So that tree has breathed a lot of shit. Geographic shadows, but soul music can be a prayer? And what if it could reach every spore, every carbonated leaf, note, pollinating dreams like bees down through the root, until every bark vibrates under our palms? And what if Marvin and Aretha can make them remember what love sounds like? And all the wild things come so close, the trees no longer die standing up. Thanks, guys. That's me. I'm done. Oh, you guys are great in the chat. Oh, thank you. Hey,
Wow.
Kyle. Hey, Rio.
Y'all. All right. I don't even have to tell you what to do.
Okay, the
Because
chat
y'all
is.
already doing it.
Thanks, chat.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for that wonderful offering. And thank you for opening us up. That was, damn. I mean, she might have curated a little something. I don't know what y'all doing at home, but I couldn't sit still in my seat. Cynthia, thank you so much again, y'all. All I can say is please cop all of the work that Cynthia has brought into the world. Please, if you know what's good for you. All right, we're gonna keep it moving with more poems, better. I don't know. I was just gonna do a thing, but it didn't happen. All right, so what I see that Cynthia is, sorry, not Cynthia. I see that Vanessa is still making her way in. So readers, I think we're gonna have to switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna go to, who is next on the, okay. Vic, are you available to read now? We have to do some on the spot.
Vanessa says she heard.
Oh no.
Says she's here. I just want to see her in the panelist section. You send her a
Yeah,
panelist
she's in the
invite?
chat though.
Vanessa is here.
She's in the chat.
Okay, so Friday is when the technology is failing us. All right, well, viewers, readers, we're trying this out together. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna troubleshoot on the back end with Vanessa. Vic, if you don't mind scooting up a little bit, is that all right? Okay, yes, great. Nafi, hey, Angel Nafi, everyone. Thank you so much for being so understanding. All right, so up next, I need you to woo it up in the chat. I need, all of my exclamation points. Come on, don't fail me now, because we got some fire ass poems coming your way. Victoria Newton Ford, everybody, please clap it up, snap it up, cheer it up, because you're not ready. You're just not. All right, take it away, Vic.
Hey everyone. Thanks so much, Elle. I just want to start by saying thank you for being here. I just feel so grateful to share this space with each of you, and with all of the poets who are here tonight for the series. And just especially want to thank Elle for curating this space for us. I just want to offer a content warning for my reading for anyone who needs it. The poems that I'll read tonight do deal with death, familial abuse, and homophobia. So if you need it, and if you, I hope you do take the space that you need from these themes, and thank you for doing so for yourself. And just before, I'm a little nervous, so I did write this little formal introduction, but letting my nerves kind of like melt a little bit as I talk to y'all. But I feel like I've always been trying to make sense of crisis. What I'm holding during this time in the past few weeks is really grief, and mostly that is born out of impossible connection. I feel this most specifically with certain mantras that I'm seeing, mostly the reminder to call your mom, which is often born from the moments of crisis like this. So the poems that I've written and the poems that I'll read tonight are for folks who are grieving this impossibility to call and be connected with family, especially folks whose mothers or parents were the crisis for them, or who a crisis has claimed. All right, and I'll be reading 4 poems tonight. This poem is called "A Maiden Name Was Once Useful as a Strong Test of Identity." Before that day, I did not know our mother owned a name other than mother. Just as it had yet to occur to me, any mother might flip the magazines of paranoia and perfume in a waiting room without her children and be summoned before a block of cells containing everything she had ever lost. Behind the door, she remains a woman in need of attendance or removal. It never fails. the entitlement of our memories, already scheduling a screening for blood, tending to the knees matter of dissolve, an arm observed for tenderness. I remember learning this difference between a parent and the collapse of a total person when I read the title of her obituary in the commercial appeal, ex-wife of John Ford dies in South Carolina. In searching for her name, I suddenly had an urge to piss, just as it happened back then on the road, a pit stop where we drank 1,000 popsicles in the grass, visiting her childhood friend. The air a thick grit that night. You both were drooled to the floor. I leapt over your spaceship heads toward the toilet, and there I finally saw her, grunting, naked above a man we knew barely beyond this offering of sugar, his thighs jerking underneath and her teeth cuffed. Say it again. It never fails. I stood behind the door, reading their outlines, uncovering her name from the ground like a match to a sock. I held the drawn out growl as a figure in the night might lift a leg in the street to prove they can stand, the narrative collapsing in a room of displaced things which had nothing to do with us. I'm gonna drink some water. This next poem I wanted to include because I wrote it 10 years ago. And that's all I'll say. This poem's called Please Break Our Shoe Pastry Hearts. This morning, I took the train from West Philadelphia over a bridge facing a row of townhomes, past their silhouettes painted in the graffiti of a single man falling through the sky. In a way, I've been sinking into the checkered carpet of this terminal just like him, waiting for the pilot to find a missing screw, for a passenger rambling of a time too small for weapons, of blossoms stuck beneath the bark of jungle trees until someone sighs. A couple lifts an umbrella toward the ceiling, almost including me, and I begin to think perhaps they have the power to wash away every broken word sung between us. There are days, true, that I've been wrong, and I've been wrong about the days we speak in when eventually I wake to the truth of it all. As she whispers in his ear, lavender's blue, dilly dilly. Lavender's green, dilly dilly. For a moment, I know the familiar falsetto of her voice, his brick-colored face, the map of an aged burn spooning her ear, and then that heartbreak I've written about once before, in another poem entirely, which was about loss, fire, solitude, the wickedness of time, believing I understood in words something wingless, like the courtship of nightingales among saplings who never flew here. When she begins to cry into his dapple gray sleeve and collarbone, when neither moves, I think about my own dissolving heart. How these two people in an airport own more mercies I never once showed my own mother. And past, there were days I watched from the balcony the brawls, a wife naming the absences with knives, and her husband, a repetition of loss, seaming himself into the beginning of a new family by some small, hideous grace. I tucked away each murder. So when my mother raised her hand to wave hello, to strike me, I could take up my own hard broom and sweep her face clear away like a rose, until she curled into her womb, became her own baby, petals drowned in wine. Even then, the city would involve itself. the way the moon often blinks her warm eye, the way the clouds still hush me now. I thought we were women not whole but flowered, like the rosettes erased beneath the necks of kind giraffes from men who did not want a thing to do with us. And I was wrong. I did not want a thing to do with her. And I abandoned each weak smile, her tired voice apologizing for the nights I spent busy trying to kiss the air you breathe. I thought I was headed back home to the same street that took me in when I had no other place to go. And sometimes we want to be left and held and jerked inside the umbrella arms of a sky that won't take us. And what can you do about that? I left and never turned back. I held on until it hurt us both. And still, angels danced the day you were born. Angels danced the day you were born. Thank you. Drink some more water. I have 2 more poems. Lately, I've been reading Lorraine Hansberry and going back to some of her plays. And one of the plays that's really been staying with me is her play, What Use Are Flowers, which is a really strange play about a hermit and children in a forest. And the title of this poem is after a line in that play. It is called grief and it is born out of love. Like an edit made to a retelling, children wait for their mother to return. And without modifying any noun, this could simply be as tedious as longing. I can remember a kind of longing one night. That night, every night, depends on the retelling. I remember sitting on the stairs in the dark, one of the children, barefoot, patrolling the front door. My brother and sister taking turns counting the dust that loitered above us, not knowing what was falling was probably dead skin or tiny living things, surviving in disguise and hungry. Not knowing our mother wouldn't return for hours or days. Specificity makes all things kind to dependence. I could say eager 6, 7, 8-year-olds wait for mom to come home from prison. Or I could say siblings with their blue wounds protecting the younger, worry their mother will return too soon from the grocery store. And what is it called now? Which one is born out of love? Thank you all so much. The last poem that I'll read tonight is also really, really dear to me and instructional. And it's called Elegy for Clitoris. Save water is one of the last things I said to my mother before she passed. She'd started to cry, but not for me. She'd started to cry, but neither of us knew she was dying, her heart arranging its own petite famine that November. Save water, please, I asked, referring to an old war between us. My mouth and the soft pink land it longed to drink versus a mother's instinct. You're a dyke, aren't you? I say instinct and not repulse, because every day the world reminds me I am accountable for the stones I let cast inside my body. Instinct and not hatred. In the last words she said, "You're dead to me," which I took to mean, you are my daughter. I made you my own brutal idea. I am trying to be responsible for somebody who was not responsible out of instinct. You did not know her, of course. You cannot consider the clots thickening in her thighs, her bitching at the farewell moon, the trouble hosting a wild concert on her face. You're dead to me, meaning I am lost. Come keep me company. Every alcoholic needs a dike for a daughter, a bank to contain the waste of a hideous marriage. Before the flood, a levee rises to earn a bruise after flushing the vodka before warming the milk to feed the youngest child who cannot stand. This is inheritance. Learning there's little difference between a moan and a whimper for the Black girl holding herself away from herself. I translate "you're dead to me" to write a beautiful song. Bring a choir to the deep river. Of course, you might still read the word dead, but it is my responsibility to cast this stone. The water suckers my feet, and I am still alive. Thank you.
No. 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 And by no, I mean the chat is not live enough. I need more exclamation points. Ooh, I need a second. Vic, God damn you. Y'all, Victoria, thank you so much. And thank you for your tenderness. Thank you for bringing gentle love and peace and ferocity into the reading space. Oh my God. Oh my God. Our YouTube chat, did y'all hear that? I want y'all to know the YouTube chat is going live too. And every night I decide not to put on waterproof mascara and I am made a fool. All right. Okay. Well, y'all, please clap it up for Victoria Newton Ford. Victoria, thank you so much. Thank you so much. If there are places that we can find more poems, please drop those in the chat. And I'll, of course, transpose those over to YouTube. It seems like a great time to take a 2 minute to just affirm our reader who just read before we get into some more poems. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, hey, did you hear that shit? And if my partner was here, she would say, you could take these 2 minutes to wash your hands. Because, it is the time of crusty COVID is what I've named her. And so we're just going to take a 2 minute and then we'll be right back at 7:40 or whatever comparable 40 hour, wherever you are. And then we're getting right into our first feature for the evening, who I'm very excited about, Nabila Lovelace. Let me get my water.
Victoria, can you put your Venmo in the chat?
Yes.
I'm getting forgetful. God, the whole night is about supporting artists. Please, Baldwin said, "Get your shit together." I'm sorry. Venmo, if you have anything to give, please pass it on to Victoria. Winnie says, "Support Victoria if you're not tripping." We'll be back in 2 minutes, y'all. Panelists, y'all don't have to, y'all can talk during this time. Winnie is obviously talking.
Victoria, that was incredible.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much.
Woo! Bitch, you ate that the fuck up.
Thank you. Like,
I cede my time just to hear some more.
I'm here for it.
Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. I just wrote some of these.
wow.
Wait, like now, nigga? Like this year?
I wrote two of the poems. One of the poems I wrote yesterday.
Woo!
How dare you?
Girl.
Bless you, yo.
After we talked, Elle, after Elle sent me a lot of pictures of Baldwin. But seriously, I really appreciate that. I think I haven't written a really time. And it's just incredible. And it's such a
You ever had somebody fuck up your face and then be really humble about that shit? Like they didn't do nothing? Interesting.
I don't know her. Anyway, thank you all so much. I really
Thank you.
We're gonna give it one
I gotta
more.
call my therapist now.
Woo!
Yeah, you know,
I gotta call my therapist.
Pick up that book because we
I
going
need
to
an emergency session.
This shit was good.
thank y'all.
Wow.
I'm gonna go hug my partner really quickly because they're over there.
Yeah, go do that.
Yes. That lucky partner.
Facts.
What are you eating, Dennis?
Alright.
I'm getting really hungry. What are you eating?
Boumet, what we eating? We got a salad going on with some mixed greens, some pickled ginger, some apple.
Look at that boo.
And then we got some roasted broccoli and carrots together. And then that's really good because they made like this like mushroom quinoa joint. And that's really hidden. But then you put the vegetables in the quinoa, it's really good.
Nice.
We out here. We out here. Man, can you bring my drink, babe?
We're gonna
Thank
take
you.
4 minutes, y'all.
Am I just eating?
Yeah. You're just eating.
We love to see it. We do.
I feel like I ain't got no poems no more.
Got poems.
You ever just hear a reading so good and just be like, maybe no. Maybe fiction, you know? Maybe the essay. Maybe something else, maybe fashion, maybe.
Maybe fiction. I'm so dead.
There has to be another path for me. That's all I know after that.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. Also, I'm glad when like a group of poets can just admit that somebody like cleared the room, you know? Like everybody on this chat is bomb. We all know that. We got the CVs, you know, like we're all good.
We
But,
just needed a second. And it was honestly, it was a 1-2 because Cynthia's was so tender and just like, it got you into like feeling so warm and like, oh yes. And then Vic was like, what up, bitch? You feel good? Great. I'm about to destroy.
like everything good, but like, you know, something, you know, every night has a nerve to be touched. And that was it. You know?
Yeah.
Yup.
Jenny Saquon.
Okay. All right. All the chats. Everyone, I just want, at some point, we need to just have these chats printed because all 3 nights have just been so lovely. There have been coined phrases. There have been hashtags. I'm very appreciative for all of the eager participation in ridiculousness. I'm so here for it. So hi, everybody. Hey, hello. We back at it. Back at it again with the white vans or the white men. Not be stopped with that face. All right, so we are fortunately, we are blessed to hear our first feature. Baldwin, have you entered the chat? I'm trying to be professional, sir. Jesus.
Bring him in.
He's feeling he's having a day, right? It's day 10 of the quarantine, so he's having a time. But yes, let's introduce the good sis, Nabila Lovelace. Nabila Lovelace is born and raised in Queens, and their parents hail from Trinidad and Tobago and Nigeria. Sons of Achilles, her debut book of poems, which again, if you haven't caught, we won't shame you as long as you go ahead and cop because you're late. Uh, they didn't say that, I did. Son of Achilles, her debut book of poems, is out now with Yes Yes Books. Currently, you can find Navi kicking it in Tuscaloosa, sometimes in my living room when I'm lucky enough. You all clap it up, stomp it up, cheer it up, asterisks, and exclamation points, please, for our first feature for the evening, Nabila Lovelace. Take it away, Nabila. Thank you.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Happy quarantine from the crib. Hope y'all doing good. I want to thank Cynthia and Vic. I want to thank everybody who's reading tonight, everybody who's read over the last couple of days, and thank Ariel for everything. Y'all make me brave. I have 5 poems, so I'm just gonna get to it. Domestication. When I felt in my mitochondria to leash the world, I did feel the creep of power, possibility pulsing in veins. Felt wishes to my enemies of a life they alone must face. Their neighborhood bodega starved of limes and stocked solely with stale cigarillos. The letter S is the bridge from slaughter to laughters. What is disregarded will kill, and here I am, caffeine shy and leaning my top ear cartilage to the page as if hearing for rain. The day wants to get gone, so let this be the end. A proximal gutting, one pulled in close by love, laid out entrails, and my whole house smells of the intestines' thankless work. Chitlins, nothing separates us from forest forage but our buildings, and even that in us is the animal. We who smear armpits and open parts of skulls with teeth overlapping and lips parted. That's in our veins. We don't just eat the bones. We wear what we kill and use it to write about our mother's cheeks. How who we love drools on the sleeve of her t-shirt. We are who must hang what we hunt in parts. It is us, humans, who are most inhumane. Of course, it is we who take other mammals as pets who are in most need of the leash. Okay, word. All right, so gonna get into the next poem, which is for all of the beauty salons I and hopefully all of us have ever gotten to pass in our lives. Thank God for them. When we see us, hair rollers set under what oven doors pack, strands of coiled bounty bound to heat. Real gold won't flatten till 2000 degrees, so make it hot. Real hot girl shit, hot girl summer. I've drawn in my peacock feathers, raising with each step on the block. My moo wafting in the wind, glitters catching skin light like the sun's wink. Every she cross-legged in the salon. Glass window is front and length is ceiling to floor. For the draw drop of onlooker sweat, I pass the salon to say what up to Poppy at the bodega and part my dollar snapple from its encased brethren. Poppy knows me and my cotton, my mane half done, half plaited down ears of corn, half stood as unhacked weeds at attention. My cousin Hole yelling not to go out there with my hair like that. My man's dawdles his mountain bike close to the kind of nature that is paved over. This being how I learned love, concrete, my knees in gravel beds, taking road into the home. My skin unpeeling to its white like a potato, and still timed every store run for the unspiral of roller sets. Curls, a buoyant wave of shimmer, catching every metal surface, jealous of this kind of gleam, glamour, unbound to gravity. Okay. All right. This next joint is dedicated to a very good friend of some of my homies. It's her birthday. Her name is Rachel. And I love friendship, you know. I'm really grateful for it. And so this is a poem that I wrote thinking about my auntie and my best friend, Tahira. And it's called Sharing Cake. I give you 2 slices of my auntie's cake, my favorite cake in the world. It is a pound cake she makes, 385 degrees preheat, maybe. I am not a baker, but I know 1 slice makes me feel good. Like the wooden finish auntie's feet pace is not where my back once laid. Her son atop me, a knife to my neck like the cutting board. You told me that there are many ways out, that our friendship is a parked car with the top down and no safety lock. Once you prayed someone more equipped would show for this job, and I wept like a shower head. I did not think I was worthy of the second slice. How delicious my aunt makes the mundane. I have never been a block of clay, shapeless and seated, but I was quiet and cooling when plucked from the oven, and you eat both slices of pound pastry, even when I asked you to save one for your mother. And we fake anger at the dining table in a room where the frames don't rattle. 40s of old English side by side. We joke of a magic our Americanists cannot excise. And the fake fight bottoms out to a fit of laughter because when I brought 2 slices, I knew you'd eat both. What I mean to say is, I am afraid that if I share you, you will leave. Happy birthday, Rachel. Okay. Just 2 more poems. Thank y'all so much for hanging in with me. All right. This next joint is about trying to throw a party. Yeah. It's called Feed the Block. Oh, and just so everybody knows, APD means Atlanta Police Department, just in case you're not sure. Anyway, Feed the Block. Ashley's mama say her, me, and Sheik can throw no party at our house. If we ain't gonna feed these kids, we'll liquor up between Jello shots and Ray and nephew's secret punch. The first of our apostles pulls up with enough green, inaugurates our carpet a meadow. Our family. May as well be blood how we ride. And since Ashley's mama barred the party if no food, Ashley spindles her tips to grill jerk drums and wings. When she first came home with the meat, I thought she cleaned out the Kroger's freezer. And even with this plenty, her cooked coop still ran out before the flood. Niggas arrived. Floor got weak. So weak neath the swaths of sneakers and whining, I thought when we jumped under the weight of back that ass up, we would be splitting rent with our second floor neighbors. And even with the food unlisted on the only come if you won't dance event page, I hoped we'd feed the block. Chic knocked baked cookies to each door in our complex, but it'd be our homegirls crash in the lot that caused APD up our flight of stairs in search to fill empty handcuffs, a quota unfit for the night as the officer left unmoored in no one to arrest. The moon, a trophy facing a spliff in the cloud. I see me wet in whiskey, mules trumpeting clacks up Flatbush, a different night, thick with more than gnats. Big cousin Tay pulled in a trolley given over a DAP's promise. On edge of an earlier corner is stately, lighting a bullet J, sailing on the ground's labor. We are wild with laugh that breaks the air. Our parade streams upon outside eyes that seemed to have found this woman from my auntie's grave. She offers us inside a plate. And is the river this loose goofed gaggle watered toward all night in all white? The barbecue is for a birthday I may never see. Our names estranged, but her look is my reunion. Her fingers extend cover over our to-go buffets. We leave gratitude and slip in the wind toward a couch for our behinds. When I bite her fried chicken, interlaces with my aunt's seasoned flour. Her wrist ballooned from whipping what makes feasts cry. With my eyes closed, I kiss what work has swole. All right, cool. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging in with me. This is the last poem. I hope y'all are fans of NPR's Tiny Desk. This is a big thank you to Gucci Mane and Zaytoven for ever doing one. The title of this poem is called How I Wish I Could Be as Happy as Zaytoven Playing Piano for Gucci on NPR Tiny Desk. Thank y'all. When the going is too good, I am suspicious. Even here in the first 5 minutes of annual holiday dinners, before we encircle the rectangle dining table where I scoop the booties off my niece's feet, which is worthy of confetti and parades because of my usual disdain for toes, which I left at the liquor store en route where we bought 2 bottles of Moscato because grandma likes sweet wine. Before I am asked when I will produce from my lower level, even here, where we are saved by sobriety's tameness, the walls bulge with who we miss. Grief is a fever, and I have lost so many years that I cannot recall my friend's name. All I can repeat is toaster, what she christened the car after hotboxing. What do you love? What keeps you here, dear reader? I hope it stays fresh a week after its expiration date. I hope my perspiration doesn't frighten. I sweat like a pet about to become dinner. I wake up afraid of what this sad, addicted little brain has made, the one with no stomach for death's arrival. My little brain of cross wires and honey fog, little brain of tussle and trample, strawberry brain, brain of prayer and pleading wakes up and knuckles its knees on the quartz ground, dives its blades in the grass, and unburial just digs it all up. I least expected her name to strike in my apartment parking lot, my neighbor's new car color, a flag for sorrow hidden in the muscles. And there was no love at first for the name that had returned to me when I had lost its gentle rub on my ear. I'm a gay. No, all I had was a tizzy heart and 12 breaths with the depth of a thimble. I wish I would do something useful with this buzzing brain, with my violent digits, like play the keyboard player in sunglasses as backup to Gucci Mane in DC, yards away from the whitest teeth smiling ivory, my grill rose gold rain. How I wish I could be a sliver of the happy of Beethoven's head, a bobbing percussion behind the piano. Instead, I made a different song. My arm, a saw, chopped my neighbor's burnt orange Tesla until my grief was just an engine. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Ariel. I really hope y'all have a beautiful night. I'm so excited to hear everybody else. This has been beautiful. Thank you so much, yo.
Oh my God. Y'all clap it up for the first feature of the night, Avila Lovelace. Woo! I'm just seeing so many, there's just so many lines. The poems are just, I started this so coherent. Like day one, I had such eloquent things to say. And now I'm just like a whole bunch of onomatopoeias stacked together with a spine and a beat face. Like that is all I am now. I'm done. There's nothing else I can do. Thank you so much, you all. Yo, Nabi, if you can drop your PayPal, your Venmo, your Cash App in the chat. I'll transpose it over to YouTube. If you have anything to give, again, capitalism is on some bullshit. Also, anything that we have can go to folks who are, you know, working and making it work under the restrictions of capitalism and systemic oppression. So thanks so much for that. I am so excited because we have so many more poets tonight. And up next is someone who is, I'm just so in awe of, just a beautiful heart, a loving spirit, just like a wonderful human. And I think you'll really enjoy their poetry, but more than that, in addition to that, just the vibes is here. Before we do get into Vanessa's poetry, I do want to say that we are, you know, working really hard to be accessible in the space. And if you notice, there are no captions and there isn't any text on the screen. That's a failure on the part of the curator. That's my bad, y'all. Working with this new technology has been very interesting. But what we are going to make sure that we do so that this that we have been able to put together over the past couple of days is accessible to deaf and non-hearing communities. We will have these videos captioned. We will put them up on YouTube, and in post-production, make sure that they are both, you know, accessible for non-hearing and deaf folks, and make sure that they're accessible, you know, free of charge on the internet. So just so you know, we do work hard. That is something that is really important to all of our readers. They did a great job of getting all of their poetry over to us so that we could transcribe it. Zoom was on some fuck shit. So I just want to go ahead and say sorry about that. And yeah, I just wanted to own that because I know that there were some folks who had some questions, and, you know, unfortunately, you know, we live in an ableist society, and it's our job to make sure that we don't continue to, you know, recreate that in the world. And when we do, we have to own it. Thank you, sir. Say sorry and move on. All right. And speaking of move on, we're going to get into the next couple of poems with all right, with Vanessa. So thank you so much, Vanessa. Clap it up, woo-woo in the chat, and Vanessa, take it away.
Hey, y'all. I'm so honored to be here with all of these incredible poets. Thank you so much for having me. And I do want to say in my own defense, I am on CP time, but I was early to our chat. So there was just something up with the link. But I wanted to start with a poem that I wrote. I started it last night, and you know, I finished it literally like 30 minutes before the chat because all of my old poems feel inadequate for this moment. And I've been reading a lot from other poets, and there's this poem I always come back to called How to Let Go of the World by Franny Choi. And so I wanted to write an after poem sort of in response to that. So here's just like a first draft. How to Let Go of the World, after Franny Choi. My 5-year-old plays in the examination room, awaiting the doctor with a surgical mask on his face. I fill out an antiseptic form in an antiseptic cube while Joaquin fights invisible bad guys, jumping from the papered cushion onto the floor. I am Iron Man, he whispers. Joaquin, please stop. You're going to hurt yourself. Well, I'm going to kill myself, he says, unaware of the gravity of his words, my terror, how close death is to all of us in this moment. 2:38 a.m. He breathes, holding a plastic Thor in his bed. Stars turn on his walls, and so I lace up my Nikes and walk into the clear, icy night. The moon, the edge of a lowering scythe. My building is perched on the edge of the interstate, facing the streams of light and engine powering life. But tonight, the city's arteries are empty. I blow smoke and turn, and upon that turning, in the amber flood of streetlight, are 8 coyotes. 3 are puppies, only weeks old. I remember fear. I register alarm, but fail to summon it. It is another absence in my body. Instead, I feel their lives thrumming in the street. Instead, we regard each other. Instead, we honor an ancient code of encounter, stillness. There is no panic, no headlight pulsing through the moment. We are animals sharing a dying world. I walk, continue my path toward them. We share the street. They don't run. They continue their lives, teach their young alongside my passing. I don't know how to do this. Hold his face in my hands and tell him what's waiting. How to teach him to follow this song. Into what dark? I remember my first burning sky at the wealthiest museum, high on the mountaintop's throat. The baby, not even 1 year old, the husband already planning his escape. My body in that knowing's panic, every nerve frayed, mixing formula in a marble bathroom. The dull, half-lit pink of an ashen sky. The tourist undead, raising their cameras at what looks like living. I write a poem about the skeletons of coral. I write a poem about the ocean holding our dead. I write a poem about the forgotten bodies, about tree memory, about the earth as a counterpublic, its faithful record, and it will reveal when we can play the sedimentary layers of the earth like grooves of a record. Who the mountains will indict, who the marshes will name. I count the breaths I have left. Once during breakfast, my son broke a glass. A tiny shard flecked into his cereal, and after a bite, he clutched his throat and wailed, coughing amid screams. I'd stayed up all night writing, studying, and didn't see, clear and small as an infant's fingernail, a thing that could have killed him, silently. He coughed, and I thank his body for saving him when I couldn't. We can go outside again, our bodies so starved for touch, will stand together in the sun. The city will open its fist and embrace us when we have reckoned with our cruelty. Invisible forces forcing us to love in impossible ways. The small gnat feasting on the too many bananas I bought in a panic. This tiny blessing. Is there an untranslatable word for missing even those who have done you harm? Think of the mustard seed. I text my son's father. Despite all this, I love you, as family, as his father. He replies, thanks. I should mention that I've jumped before, I've swallowed bleach before, I've taken a blade to my body in death's dream. In this way, the world's cruelty replicates into our own actions. In this way, my mother's survival is bone-coded into me along with patterns of cruelty. What future does my blood remake for my children? In California, I watched the fire devour a mountain from my living room window. The helicopter pours water from a giant bladder while a prisoner runs into a cell of flames. And when it rains, the tents dotting the LA River are pulled into the rising current. I have seen the children playing on its concrete islands, chasing seagulls. I have seen the daughter pulling a jacket from a shopping cart. Voices, the shoe on the lip of the bridge. It falls into a tunnel and gone. Okay, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned a trigger warning. Some of these deal with themes such as domestic violence, abuse, and suicide. So just putting that out there. This is all new material. Yeah, I don't even really know how to introduce it because, you know, my usual like storytelling mechanisms are absent. So it's just a lot of sad poems. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, this one is Settlement. I flee to the edge of this country in the too stag dark, stand on an escarpment undoing itself in ash. Not yet a boy, I eat still the figs that bloat with inverted blossoms. When halved, sometimes a blonde wasp encalled in its violet lobe. This, of course, is the dream body eating its omen. California moons, a coast breathing oranges, a fire fast as horses, duplicitous husband, an ocean steel bordered, splits even the waves. Never trust beauty to represent brutality. I can give you no language that will free the child from her cage, make no meaning that unfloods the world, no verse that can unfire a bullet. I eat the spine of God to stay alive. Eldest daughter to an eldest daughter to an eldest daughter, I citizen 3 child mothers at the river's door. Obedient bruise root, rebel virgin, doomed bride. Translate passage. The girl abandoned in a sinking marshland will never be named in America. America is just another boy with bad intentions, another flooding plot of discovery, drowning its ever lousier yellows. How many daughters have been paid to the ship? Dissolution, to witness my own water burial. At the cut bank, knife the rope and split the dress, maiden myself taut as an elm bow drawn, thighs seized red, holding a dormant knot. In every father's cruelty to his daughter is a husband recognizing the danger of himself. Every man a heat-trapped rancor, every promise a demon's gem. Mirror-born, the wolf girl will learn 2 names in the twinned land, tense with blood memory. Checkpoint. Border Patrol asks, place of birth. I speak. Exit the vehicle. Legs open. The moon enthroned in oaks shines through the woodlace over the state. A father in the grasses. A headlight cleaves mother and boy. Another child at the edge of this country, another body denied a metaphor. What regret can be daughtered deeper? Let me see how much time I have left. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do one more. I'm gonna do root future, although the writing is tiny, so bear with me. These glasses right quick. Hello. Okay, and thank you so much again to Ariel and to all of these amazing readers. I'm just so honored to be reading with y'all and sharing the space with y'all. And thank you to everyone who made it to the Zoom meeting. Function equals root future. Root, matrilineal equals repeat, does not equal cycle, inherit, does not exist. Zero equals Carmen, blooming ranch fields, a throat packed with cotton, no choice but to marry her eldest off to the hoof-beaten storm. Zero equals Angelica. Escape the hoof-beaten storm, escape the garnet-eyed doctor, flee the stillborn country that pummels you to rags. Zero equals Silvia. English synonyms for future: escape, amnesty, green card, possibility, dream, I promise, I will, I do, pregnant, labor, indebted, hospitalized, provider, burden, loan, interest. Zero equals Vanessa. Witness this pattern now cycling into me. Again, lost eddies of time, lost again, I submerge my body in the river of unclaimed memory, swim again to its cervix and speak into the sea. I did everything I was supposed to do, and still an unbroken line of broken lines. One equals Joaquin. If someone is going to make it out of this dream alive, let it be you unbraiding for me. Let it be that this cord, its arcing line, when viewed from above, is an infinite field. And let the field open for you like a bell, its bend veined with the lace of new stars. And let each new star echo on earth as a blossom, bursting from the black, so that you, born from this blood dark grief, marbled with error, can still be perfect. Let every good beast carry you in its eye, open with wild knowing, and let every sagging telephone line carry my voice to you when I'm gone, when you're lonely or scared. And in a sleep soft drift, you'll think you hear me in the kitchen. And yes, there we are again, reflected in the bend of the steel spoon, the milk still spinning as we lick off the chocolate. And there we are again in the rust-burnt dusk, embers whirling off the mountainside, the last sight we'll have of an ocean. And yes, I'm sorry. I am so, so sorry. What else could I have done to stop the cell from splitting? Root 1, set patrilineal equals new, AD, T equals timeline, D equals discovery, conquest, 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 conquest. Start chronometer, start collective memory, start archive. Before the ship's arrival, there is no history. In the following conditions, one does not belong to real time: prehistoric, pre-agricultural, pre-capitalist, pre-discovery, pre-colonial, pre-Christianity, primitivity, pre-literate, precarious, prey, unmarried, unattractive, unbecoming, unmoored, unnamed, unemployed, un-American, uncivilized, unaccounted, unauthorized, unprofitable, undocumented, unskilled, unaccompanied, unassimilated, uncolonized, unacceptable, unclean, prey. Real future function. Future times time times time equals infinity. The coral is dead and the skies are shattered with gasoline clouds, and the SpaceX station is building an electromagnetic wall. And I have been in this field before. I have seen the bent workers scooping tender chard, and the mountain kneels in witness to a sinking earth. And when the last elephant dies, it will no longer remember, because time will have gone white, and the future white, the past white, time all arranged in a line on a whitened field, itself so straight, riding its white horse, black horse, red horse, pale horse, into new lands, the future made singular, progressing, never repeating, although we have already been here before and have always belonged in this story, although unaccounted for in this version of the story, moving in a line of suns, and the only way to get into this story is to be conquered, vanquished, captured, killed, but we have always known that time was never a line. It is a field occurring alongside the past, like when I recognize my father's laugh in my son, like the bending lily I send to the dead beyond time, like the way I am born and born in every friendship, every creation, every minute I don't drive off the mountain, the infinite in every will to survive. Thank you all so much. This has been incredible. Blessings to you all. I hope everybody gets through this safely. And thank you again to Ariel. This has been an incredible experience.
Wow, thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you for that offering. And I think this is the first time I've heard that poem out loud since reading it, and it's just, what a trip. Poetry, man, poetry. Thank you so much again, you all. Vanessa, if you can, drop your information in the chat just so folks have something to give. They can spread a little love your way. Y'all, I see so many snaps in the chats. And people were on YouTube. My favorite comment on YouTube during your reading was Rasha A said, "What?" And I agree. So thank you so much. Y'all, how we doing? How we doing in the chat? How y'all feeling? If your emotional sort of like denomination could be like a color, what would that color be? I want to know. Mine is like I'm feeling very like deep green, but also maybe a little like marigold. I'm seeing a lot of, y'all love purple. Absolutely. Come on, electric blue. Yes. Burnt sienna. We love to see it. We love a burnt sienna. Yes. That's like when Crayola made all them skin tone colors because they got called out too many times. Never mind. That's a different rant for a different day. All right. We're going to keep it moving with these beautiful fucking poems, with these beautiful fucking people. Up next, we have someone who is so beloved, not only in the literary community, but, you know, on Twitter and in real life. And I'm just really fucking excited to hear this work. We have Malcolm Tariq. So everybody take a breath, buckle your seatbelts, you know, put on something more comfortable because Malcolm's about to rip it. All right, take it away, Malcolm.
Hi, can you hear me? I guess you can respond. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you, Malcolm. Yeah, you're good to
go. This has been really, really good. I didn't know I needed this until I found it. I was in it. So I'm really thankful for all the readers and for Ariel for organizing this. It's a lovely way to spend a Friday night. I'm gonna start with a poem called Fucking with Ralph Ellison. And a lot of the lines are from the prologue to his novel Invisible Man. My home is my whole is warm and full of light. Tight muscles, clenched fists, you feel me. You see me, invisible haint, flesh and bone, fiber and liquids. My home, my homie hole ain't cold like no grave, but the dead do sleep here. They is home to my hole like me, real and unreal, seen and unseen, always coiled into myself so not to wake the dead, lest they see my hole, our home, the in and out of there, a dark thing always coming at you. My home, my hole, my bottom ground at being, seeing, you feel me? Here we is most alive. You try to break the distorting glass, but the mirror still looks back at us in the darkness of light. I am ain't no spook, but and I sure do fight one without it me knowing. Put your fist in mine, I won't deny it, deny you. Brothers and sisters, my sex this morning is the blackness of blackness, most black. So I have 5 poems. That was 1. This is 2. This is called Malcolm Tariq's Black Bottom. There's a lot of bottoming. You want me to talk back to you. I allow flesh its function. I am a body tied to a body, tied to addendum, an arched back, a split tongue, a sunken throat. I am a fiend and a freak and a fuck. I am and I am and I am not this singular being. I am legion, millennia of continued thrashing, interval of whisked memory, palm rolled heritage. You want a voice, a command, and a vowel. Take this moan as historical rendering. My downward facing side, thy rod and thy staff, they come for me. Soon I may be nothing to you, and just as I try to live with that, I find the crown of cowrie upon my head, as thick as a leash around my neck. You thrust your life into me and watch it bounce back. My body releases 10,000 tongues as you graze walls etched with languages of 12 centuries. They spill into your bare chest waiting for an answer. Get lost in this echo. Disappear in your hands controlling rhythm, your mouth whispering to a red moon. When I look back at it, toss your name back into me. This is a poem called, what's it called? Before we get into the poem, what is everybody drinking if you're drinking? I'm having a little white, like a little Pinot, I think it's called, Yellowtail, so it's cheap, from downstairs. Nabila got that can over there. I see you. We're rocking it out. Just drop it in the chat what you're drinking. Maybe you can have a little suggestion. Water. I see that water. Me too. This is called The Body Politic. Is there anything to say about this? No. Say this isn't the whole of it, this frail book and its sentence. Somebody's too good and no good grin. Somebody's god awful and twofold mouth. Somebody's tired. Somebody rattles the cage, another will die under. Somebody's sickle and somebody's cell. Somebody be out there cotton picking mine. Somebody else be all up in it. I mean the weight of a dime in my hand before collection. I'm talking Sunday be somebody's lifeline. Somebody's prison whose body's a pipeline. Teacher's judgment against my house collateral. I'm counting books and lives, putting money on books and bailouts. Despite this Black president, I'm thinking slumlords and thug porn. Family courting the law while your mama's so fat and somebody's big black. 3/5 a body's sum, bodies worth in inches, whose back a bridge, whose broken daddy's back on crack. Somebody stepped on the beat, we dug it. A body was bodied while politicking who done it. Somebody's well-meaning and good intentions. Somebody's everyday and everybody you love, somebody's lost. Nobody's somebody you can't get back, somebody paid for it. Somebody's womb be somebody's gun, somebody's baby against bullet, the plot quickens. Headstone body, bodies be bodied in days, centuries booking the dash, our lives will fit within it. Our lives will abandon the boundaries of the body the way some bodies belong to the state. I stay stating my name like it matters, I am, and I am, and I am. So I'm reading from this book, it's called Heat the Hollow. And now I'm gonna read the title poem of Heat the Hollow. Oops. I want to remember everything that has happened to me, history of my flesh, scar of my miscarriage. I take my own pills as I once learned to sign for my mother's birth control preventative measures. I am learning to reproduce myself with the shape of my mouth's consuming. I'll swallow everything. I have to forget to live the way men read labels as invitations. I've heard women in my family talk of assault as I've heard men talk of assaulting. I'll be something to someone someday or nothing but spill. Truth be told, I want to be the last side effect in the disease. I'll settle for a curse. I'm trying to remember to forget the colonizer's name on my medical chart, scripting my back. I straighten into the narrative and carry it in spite of my name, how he grabs me as if prescribed. I want to forget the way he's had me over the counter taking him, the way he told me you were almost a power bottom. Okay, I lied. I had 5, but I have 6. I just decided I have 6. So I just learned within like the past 20 minutes that my friend's grandmother died, and she's in the hospital in California right now. And because of everything that's happening, they weren't able to see her in her final moments. And her grandmother does not speak English, so a lot was happening. This is a poem I originally wrote. I'm not going to say why I originally wrote it, but it's called Self-Portrait as an Unmarked Grave. And I guess to me, it's a meditation on how monuments are not always what we erect, but what's always there, and the people in our lives and the people who we don't know that have contributed to our lives in some way. So I want to read this for my friend Miriam and her family. This is called Self-Portrait. I should say that it's called Self-Portrait as an Unmarked Grave because it's about this grave of Black people who were formerly enslaved in South Carolina. Their bodies were discovered a few years ago. Their bodies are so entangled that they can't excavate the land. And so it's just like a grave. But yeah, Self-Portrait as an Unmarked Grave. Do not seek the stone without the story, but even it cannot fit this hollow. In flesh shall not fail me. From here, cartilage, collagen, calcium whispers my descent. Witness what I've made of ruin. To our kind, death is no descending. Each year, bramble thick with thorn advances its assault. I rise, my dead, my living spill above the earth. Push through blood soil until you are made to stalk. Balance in cruel wind, tangle up limbs, brown scar the landscape. Roots refuse to monument my bone. We monument. Carry that in your descendant order. No longer gentle, but violent bush, evergreening deep in winter's scorn. This is my last one. I'm gonna end on a praise poem. Thank you everybody for listening. I'm so excited. I feel like if this was in person, it would be like too lit. I'm gonna have some wine. Okay, this is called, so the book starts with a poem called Power Bottom, and this is a poem that ends the book. It's called Bottom Power. Praise the bottom of USA, her blood and sweat in spite of death, deep gulf, spinning sea, stretch of moist marsh, cultured into giving, whose salt tears trail into the vast forever and unknown. Praise the plush bottom of USA, its tangle of fiber, a seat in sanctuary, the soft pulled from bowl by hard hands, afterlife living in the leftover lust of pride. Praise the hard bottom of USA, his cane erected willfully in your honor, sweet juice on the chin, the return each year bent on living, whose seed lives on in the rich rum-filled romance and rife abandoned. Praise the soft bottom of USA, her sugar tits still raw with rot of generations, her cotton gin gyrations inflicted into the games of children chattering rhymes on the street corner. Praise the sweet bottom of the South, our heft of holler ringing into present tense, the lift of fists festered into submission, the perverse sway of swamp, housing the hush of history, the hollow of saltwater cyclone, seeing and sealing truth, our tapestry of toppling over as testimony. praise the bottom of the black bottom. Everything lost and lingering, our bone of brick still breaking, our emptiness, our backward lick of life, our distant desire, our clear quiet, our will and want, our silent sighs exalting, the cleft clit still singing in the labor of love. Praise the blackest bottom of the bottom, praise the blackest bottom, praise the bottommost black, praise the black, praise the black, praise the bottom, praise the bottom, praise the bottom. Thank you.
Y'all. Damn. Clap it up, Malcolm. Thank you so much. And thank you for donating your time tonight. We really appreciate it. And thank you for the white wine. And thank you for the locks. And thank you for all these glorious, glorious pages and pages upon pages of poems about Blackness and bottoms and all the things. You are such a gift. Thank you so much. You all, Malcolm, if you don't mind dropping your information in the chat, let them know where they can find you at. You all, Heed the Hollow, is on sale. It is being sold across the US right now. There is, who are me to say that you can't cop it right now if you so desire, which you should. Go ahead and cop Heed the Hollow on your way out tonight. And yeah. Okay, couplet. I didn't even know I did a couplet. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. If my grandmother saw me say that, she'd get her life right now. Yes, thank you so much again. And we are, y'all, I'm getting sad. We have 2 more readers tonight. I don't want it to be over. Let's just stay here and hang out forever. But I wanted to say thank you to some people who have been keeping it alive in the chat. I think there's Angel Nafis who's been doing lots of exclamation points all night, and I'm very excited about that. Cat Way, Rio Leo, Cat Moore on the YouTube chat, Rasha A on the YouTube chat, Tiana Bratcher, who was a reader last night, is also keeping it alive on the YouTube chat. Y'all are so fucking dope. JJ, I think JJ's been here like 3 nights in a row, so we appreciate you, and so many others. Shira and Isabel, who are in Atlanta being very cute and sheltered and staying in place. Hey, and Addie Cahan, Galo Cott, Abby Adler. In person, I would be like talking about y'all's clothing and saying how cute you are, but I just have to shout your name out because we are online. So I just really appreciate y'all and want y'all to know that we see you, we love you, and we're so grateful that you all are pouring into poets. When we all need our cup full, poets will do it, man. Time and time again. I'm still trying to get my edges back from the lineup from the past 2 nights, and here we are still going again. So it's not like we're going to keep our edges because we got Imani and Dinez for closing out our night. So I will stop going on and on and on. I am so excited for you all to hear the blessing and gift, the fucking fan nigga-tastic that is Imani Davis. Y'all clap it up. Woo in the chat. Keep it going. Woo woo. Exclamation points. All right, cool. Take it away, Imani. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Elle, for organizing this. I'm so happy. I don't know. I feel like this is at a time filled with a lot of happiness, but this is making me really happy. It's also been a time of a lot of indulgence. It seems like people's first thing is oh, I can stay in the crib. Where's the Hennessy at? So I chose to read some poems tonight that focus on indulgence because I think it's been a topic of conversation online and in person for a lot of these times. Cool. After learning of the affair, I downed 2 bottles of Chardonnay and gave an impromptu performance of Beyonce's Don't Hurt Yourself. I mean, I guess it could be God or whatever. This whiny voice luring me back to sanity. Whoever it is, I'm not listening. This isn't my first rodeo. This time, though, it's my hooves flirting with the edge of carnal, my reckless, tender back. Am I not the first girl to gallop across a breakup track? If there is a time to be leashless, my God, it has finally arrived. My key to her apartment pressing its useless signature into my palm. Without warning, I relate to every lyric that hisses when touched. My mother says, you have never truly sung until there is a heaviness pushing out the music, Oh, how agony is useful if it can make us urgent. Some lessons in speed are metal. Some draw breath, eat breakfast, can open a door and quit belonging to me whenever they please. It's an easy history. A girl offers to hurt me well, and I offer her 2 years of my sun-drenched hands in return. How to articulate the uneven arcs of desire, to let youth deliver its single lonely lesson, all the things I can be besides held. I don't want to think too hard about it, so I won't. Whose gruesome theater is this anyway? I think it belongs to whatever growls behind my eyes at the mention of her name. B and I toss our rings at the screen, cast our feral furs to the ground like expired love spells. Yes, I can barely trust the sunrise anymore, but for now, I trust this. The sharpened howl prowling through my blood, waiting to wake, waiting to claw any back ever turned. Cool. Yeah. Ode to the woman she left for, with a line from Arcelis Germain. Dear paramour, dear lighter flick, I'll hold no war with you. In another tense, I clawed, blood-struck, at the door of your name, thought your muscles a collection of thieves, but no, you are like anyone else, desirable, then not, a stranger, then every crimson reason I can't sleep. Spare the details. I have no use for your archive of sweat. Once, I dreamt us without memory, our fingerprints wilting from her neck like leaves. Please, I just want to feel the sunlight's palm on my back without wondering who else it's touched. This isn't forgiveness. It's what forgiveness answers to. I mean to tell you that everywhere I go, I hear us singing to each other, in love with the same spoiled note. This next poem is in 2 sections. It's from this series that I'm working on about mania in the voice of Azealia Banks's Licorice Bitch. So do with that what you will. The licorice bitch hears Rihanna's bitch better have my money and decides to live again. To my therapist, I'm alarming, but I guarantee someone's boyfriend at this party thinks I'm a dream come true. Not to brag, but if Lucille Clifton was between Starshine and Clay, I'd say I'm somewhere between ketamine and codeine. Here's a secret. Every day I am the thing that tries to kill me and fails. Won't you celebrate with me how I never once got the gumption to let my feet spring off the edge of salvageable? How I'll be sure I've arrived at the end of the end, and then my favorite song pulls me back into some hot stranger's manicured hands. You win this round, Miss Robin Fenty. I'll give the moonlight one more chance to hit my eyeshadow just right. I'll play this game if my black latex boots are the only agreed upon rule. I'll be anything you want, but sane. The licorice bitch will not call into her ex's favorite podcast to curse her out through a strongly worded advice column letter. That's the plan anyway. But I'm liable to do anything I've promised not to. Everyone who wants me dead was once supposed to keep me alive, so now what? Do I get to phone a friend? I don't think this be the bigger person thing is much fun at all, especially when I wake up with like Thomas Jefferson on my mind. That nigga just did whatever. One day, I'll probably have boundaries, but tonight I'll just have fun. I get to be as reckless as anyone who's ever hurt me. I get to buy a brand new oyster knife and get straight down to business. I'm just gonna keep that. The Devil Wears Prada. Like any garment, men have their seasons. I wear them to pay the rent. I don't ask to be loved, just seen. A gentle thumb wiping lipstick from my teeth. Admit it. Anyone wearing this much leather will never govern themselves with guilt. How do I sleep at night? With your sons. With your husbands beneath monogrammed cerulean silk, one eye open and too much witnessed to ever close it. I wanted to be powerful. Instead, I became this. I'm not sorry for Paris. You've known who I am since the first pair of Jimmy Choos. Also right now thinking about the utility of anger and disappointment and just like frustration. So this poem is dedicated to Rico Nasty, who's been like a luminary for a lot of my work, low key, high key, the realest key. This poem is called Maybe All I Need to Be is Rico Nasty. At least for now, while her raspy sermon pierces the house party, it is enough to be a splintered storm with grief spiked in every direction. Rico launches a molasses shriek down my spine, and the sound makes men neon in their seats. I have been afraid of anger for so long. What beast it could summon from beneath the river of my skin. I know I carry my father's face. Why not his fists too? Why not his jagged impulse for blood? As a child, I wrote horror stories starring everyone who'd ever wronged me. Shayla pushes me down during recess, and the narrative pushes her down a well, poor girl. Poor choice, poor victim of nameless anger. Poor victim of nameless anger, death note soaked in salt water. Later, I lost baby teeth and learned myths of monsters buried in Black girls. Of all the fright I can deal by just raising my voice. Every whimper crumpled to a growl, but I'm learning to rage without worrying what a scream can cost me. The first time I hear Rico Nasty's poppin', everything inside me turns all the way the fuck up. I sugar screech in my bedroom. I don't worry about the words because all the best monsters never need a script. And for the flickering eternity of this song, I will be no different. Why commit to meaning when the feeling is enough? And who better to learn from than Rico? Rich in the sacred currency of a howl, Brat's doll minotaur, all-knowing type of bitch, familiar with the specific magic graveling through my headphones. And when she's with me, I become the bride of chaos. I make sorrow my mosh pit and bruise shame past recognition. I thank every god on my chain that I didn't have to smack a bitch today. And so what if I did? Who gonna beat my ass? This last poem is the last poem, very much a last poem. Yes, I did end the poem with who gonna beat my ass. And I just said that. Cool. This is after Zandria Phillips. This has been more than a joy. I just want to say before I end my portion. Yeah, thank you all again for doing this. I think I want to dedicate this actually to my uncle who passed from Corona yesterday. Everything must go. After Zandria Phillips. As is tradition for the women of my blood, I shop too much. Will sacrifice a paycheck like a lamb for the chance to conjure up a fresh silhouette. And I'm supposed to hate this about us. The nerve to wrap our bodies in myths we can't afford in the name of beauty. But I want to make peace with this. I want to make peace with my grandmother's gentle back room, lined with the choir of her hat boxes, quiet revelations all over each wall. All day, she darts between the news and the home shopping network, unsure whether to spend her pension or her prayer. Once, she left a country ribboned by war as though it were a dressing room, practiced walking in American shoes until balance became her. To this day, she nests for her children until there is nothing left on the racks. stores enough patent leather and lace to clothe every ghost she left in Honduras. And who could call a love that selfless a waste? Still, mom says grandma got too much space in her heart. Too many shelves she can't wait to fill. We have this in common. On weeknights, at midnight scroll across landscapes of pixelated fabric without direction, check for sales like my life depends on it. Desire a beauty aimless as light. Each day, I wake wanting to script a new creation story across my skin. Dare each day to reinvent itself until everything that's hurt me is a stain, washed clean. Sometimes the mirror is the only place I decide what happens to my body. Here, I sketch myself into a velvet miracle no one dare touch. The night the thief undresses me, every drawer in my chest lay empty as a scream. Officer asks what I wore that night, and I think of my grandma's urgent gaze in Macy's. Here is its root. We shop to find the look that might finally keep us safe. If there is always a danger to outrun, praise the choice of heels for the chase. Praise the good shoe and the stature it lends me tonight. Praise the pomp and circumstance of ripping the tag off a brand new skin. My grandmother and I dressed ourselves out of deaths already tailored to fit. And if that is a sin, I'll take one in every color. So bless every tattered thread of this love, communion of fabric gathered at my feet. After we leave the mall, Grandma turns to me, asks me to say grace over dinner, and I take bread and break it, say, this is my body, taken back. I do this in remembrance of me. Thank you.
Wow. Y'all, please give it up for Imani Davis. Imani, thank you so much for all of that tenderness, that fierceness, that rage, slapping bitches, taking money. Poor girl. She down a well. We love to see it. Sometimes they gotta go down a well, you know? They gotta go. Figuratively and literally. Don't check behind my house, is all I'm saying. Thank you all so much for sticking with us. Just in the interest of keeping it a whole buck with you, we are gonna go a little bit over time, but we're ending tonight with the Denez Smith, Denez the pony, Denez the stallion. What was your Twitter name? One of them.
The mule, bitch.
There we go. The mule.
The mule, because I'm still waiting on my 40 acres and
okay, plus interest, plus tax.
Okay, 40 acres of estate.
But I wanted to offer folks another little quick break just to wash their hands, stomp their feet, stretch it out, go refill their cup, go use the bathroom. Yesterday one of our poets had to go, hit the toilet a little bit, and we're human, and that's all right. And while you're taking a break, I'm gonna do what I haven't done these other nights, and I'm gonna read me a poem. And so I'm just gonna read this. Please feel no need to stay. Go do your thing. I'm gonna read this poem. It's gonna last us about 2.5, and we're gonna get into Denez Smith's feature. All right, y'all. Okay. Dang, this what it feel like? This is what y'all been feeling every night when y'all come read for the damn shit. I'm going to, because why not, read a poem that I really love that it's an after to Denez. Every time I say that, they got something to say. They always are like, that's not to me. It is, all right? And it's called Psalm in Which I Demand a New Name for My Kin. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. I'm gonna close out a little bit later on, but I'm just really appreciative of this space and so excited. So, Psalm in Which I Demand a New Name for My Kin. I swear on my mother's laugh, friend, don't cut it. You caught a bitch in her early nude, paper thin psalms sharpened into blade on her mother's lawn. What a mess. and you loved her fiercely. Not sister, but salvation of noise. Your broke ass hands, the arithmetic of 5 points, the library dust in your bones, perhaps a way to sing my favorite poem over a cliff. My dark, bloody muse, my nigga. I love you in the worst way. I mouth pomegranate and gummy bliss, and the kernels fall like manna into your lap. I milk honeysuckle, and your belly swells with child, my love. You are mine. How do I say it plain? Your youngest born is another me. Your blood beneath his skin and my teeth in his mouth. You spit, and I blush into chlorine at Mosley Park. Not homegirl, but my bluest magic. The wicked Sunday morning song I scythe from my mother's hair like hot oil. When we feast in your kitchen, we commune. Bitch, you my whole lyric. And I said it enough that you love like an orange. I pull you from the vine and weep at how many times you have halved in my palm and not slipped away yet. Bitch, you tender me. You give me better language for my broken. What's the word? My dog. You gift me the gutter. Squad as in I'll never pretend to fix my love into a hymn. A rope of braid at my navel. You, the whole soup. You, the root of me. My solemn chew. My nigga, you the gristle. I love you, the bone splinter. I love you, the gum ache. I love you, the jigsaw sweat, the deep sigh, the belly slick, the muscled sprint from sun to dusk. You, the star I follow to rid myself, the Mason Dixon. I line you up over my father's toilet. When I bleed, you gather my family to pray. When I pray, you beckon my mother's God to listen. My God, listen, my best friend, I love you. I love you, and I'm alive to witness you be this great iteration, this majestic selfishness. My mama say she got 12 kids and birds only 3, and the world was formed in how many days? I wish that same holy multiplication upon our children, our thick-headed young, our legion of fool-ass saints linked at the hip of their glory, tethered like this right here, like this right here, like this right here, long after we dead. Okay, all right. Thanks for that. I'm done doing poems now. And now it's my turn. I'm not reading that damn chat. I'm not reading the chat no more. It's not my job right now. My job is to introduce our feature for the evening. And what a mighty feature we got. Danez Smith, they is everything. And they is a Black queer pause writer and performer from St. Paul, Minnesota. Danez is the author of Homie, which is out from Grey Wolf Press now. Cop that if you haven't. We judging you. That's the one we will judge you for right now. Right now. Don't Call Us Dead was out from Grey Wolf Press in 2017. They are the winner of the Forward Prize for Best Collection, the Midwest Booksellers Choice Award, and a finalist for the National Book Award. Yes, a finalist for the National Book Award. And Insert Boy, which was out from Yes Yes Books in 2014, was the winner of the Kate Tufts Discovery Award and the Lambda Literary Award for Gay Poetry. They are the recipient of fellowships from the Poetry Foundation, the McKnight Foundation, the Montevallo Art Center, Cave Canem, and the National Endowment for the Arts. Danez's work has been featured widely, including on BuzzFeed, the New York Times, PBS NewsHour, Best American Poetry, Poetry Magazine, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Danez has been featured as part of
They're still broke.
Because they're not paying poets and they need to get their shit together. Okay? Get it out. Stephen Colbert. Somebody ask Stephen Colbert in the chat. We got questions. Danez has been featured as part of Forbes' annual 30 Under 30 list and is the winner of a Pushcart Prize. They are a member of the Dark Noise Collective, and they are the co-host of VS with Franny Choi. I know y'all listen to that because I do every week. A podcast sponsored by the Poetry Foundation and Post Loudness. You all, please, woo-woo in the chat, snap, clap, stomp it up, at Stephen Colbert on Twitter, and get ready because Danez is about to tear it up. Thank you so much, boo. Take it away.
I love you so much. Ariel, drop your Venmo in chat. I think okay, I'm gonna say a couple things about Ariel before I start. One, when she read that poem, right? Or when they read that poem, right? to me, that poem, I always say it's not really after me, but it is after me, because I think it does what an after poem should do, which is not just blatantly steal structure and swag from a poem, but it actually draws inspiration and does its own thing, right? And so like, I feel blessed for that poem to be after me, because I feel like it's doing its own thing and it's doing a new thing. I'm glad to be the port for which that poem can launch off from, but that's a beast poet within their goddamn right. Second thing is that it takes a special person to, in a moment of crisis for themselves and for a community, to just immediately think about that community too. And so Ariel reaching out to all of us to build this series, not only so that poets could like get a little bit more financially stable in these times, but so that we could like starve off this loneliness and this depression that I know a lot of us are going through. And so from audience and from poet alike, Ariel, I thank you. You are a leader in this community. It is a pleasure to have started off as your big homie and to become your peer. And I love you. I love your work. Thank you for everything that you do from the bottom of my heart, for real. Okay. Before I cry. My name is Dinesh. Hi, everybody. This background is sponsored by my boo and their job. They still getting a paycheck in this house. Amen. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. All of them lovely things that were said in my bio. I hope that if any of those orgs are in the room tonight, that they are prepared to make the world a more stable place for artists in the next iteration of going outside after this shit is done. Because it makes no sense that so many artists have been left with their elbows and their hands raised, asking what to do. Right? So let us build better structures as Corona tears this shit the fuck down for a little bit. Every poet that read tonight, thank y'all so much. That shit was fucking phenomenal. Like me and my boo were just over, like we were paused because I didn't want to be too distracted, and also I wanted to eat my fucking quinoa. But the shit was wild, and we were screaming and leaning in and discussing. And so just thank you all so much for everything y'all brought tonight. That was truly a blessing. I've been feeling really far from poems in these days, you know. At least from my own work, I think especially, like I've been reading a lot, but even some days I find myself, you know, I got all these poems in my house and some days I don't touch them. But I will say that all these readings, the couple that I've been able to sit in on as an audience member, and the now two that I've been able to do as a reader have been like truly some jewels and some saving graces in this time. So thank you all for tonight. I am drinking my second thing of whiskey. The first one was just with apple juice and a little bit of lemon. Now it has some mango passion fruit juice and a little bit of weed tincture. So we are entering that portion of the night. I'm gonna start with with like a poem from the book, and then I'm gonna try to read mostly new stuff in the middle. I see you. Period. And then I'll end with something from the book as well. No, mango passion fruit, bitch, Malcolm. Mango passion fruit, girl. Yes, on sale, Target brand, girl. Yes, you know. We get in them unrefrigerated juices in these times, so they can sit on the side. It's not a big kitchen. All right. So fuck Trump as always, because we in this whole fucking shit, and it's gonna be a lot worse because this nigga already done said that it was a hoax. So fuck this nigga at all times. My grandma, I was over there kicking it with her distance, but she let me know that this nigga's cutting off the prices right every day. So fuck that nigga for cutting off the prices right for my fucking grandma now. If you wasn't a socialist before this shit, bitch, welcome. And this poem is about maybe that. It's about, you know, fuck the president. So align yourselves and elect your neighborhood. This poem is called My President. Today, I elect Jonathan, 11 and already making roads out of water. Young genius, blog writer, little community activist, curls tight as pinky swears, black as my nation. I trust the world in his tender, blooming hands. I trust him to tell us which rivers are safe to drink and which hold fish like a promise. And I elect Eve Ewing, who I know would misfrizzle the shit out this country into one big classroom where grandmas finger paint the national budget and uncles stand around smoking blacks, plotting on stars for our escape. She could walk to the podium at her inauguration and say, the future is now. And we would all marvel as the sun and moon started looping the sky like a GIF. It's pronounced GIF, as the cars all learned to fly and our skin grew bulletproof. And Colin Kaepernick is my president, fine ass nigga, who kneels on the air, bent towards a branch, throwing apples down to the children and vets. And Rihanna is my president, walking out of global summits with a wine glass still in hand. Our taxes were turned in gold to dust our faces into coins. And my mama is my president. Her grace stunts on amazing brown hands, breaking brown bread over the mouths of the sick until there are none unfed. And my grandma is my president, and her cabinet is her cabinet, because she knows to trust what the pan knows, how the skillet wins the war. And the man I saw high kicking his way down the river, he too is my president. And the trans girl making songs in her closet, spinning the dark into a booming dress, she too is my president. And Shonda Rhimes is my president, and Nathan Marshall is my president, and Trina is my president, and the boys outside Walgreens selling candy for a possibly fictional basketball team, the niggas still out there too, are my presidents. And the bus driver who stopped after you yell wait only twice is my prez. And the dude at the pizza spot who is down to give you a free slice if you are down to wait for him to finish the day's fourth prayer, he is my prez. And my auntie, only a few months clean, but clean, she is my president. And my neighbor who holds the door open when my arms are full of laundry is my president. And the birds and the cooks and the single moms especially, and the weed dealers and the teachers and the meter maids who let you slide especially, and the cab drivers who stop, and the nurses' swollen feet, and the braiders' exhausted hands, and the bartender and Beyonce and all her kids, and the rabbi and the sad girls and the leather daddy who always stops to say good morning, and the boy who is crying on the train, and the sudden abuela who rubs his back, and the uncle who offers him water, and the drag queen who begins to hum, oh, my presidents, my presidents, my presidents, my presidents, show me to our nation. My only border is my body. I sing your names, your names, my mighty anthem. Woo! All right. Man, can y'all believe that we probably gonna be voting between these two racist ass white niggas this fall? Damn. I'm gonna be honest. I was one of them Elizabeth Warren niggas because I had dreams, and I should have voted for Bernie when I had the chance. You know, I feel like, damn. I know, House Sway. I'm sorry, but damn, I liked her. I thought she was who we should have got around. I thought she was gonna pull in the moderate niggas too, and then niggas just didn't do what I thought they was gonna do. And now we got to vote between this racist and this nigga who is also racist, but less so. The nigga who's racist with black friends. Anyways, remember he was going around telling that story about that nigga at the pool for a long time? LOL. Okay, poems. What the fuck am I reading next? Okay, read new poems. Y'all be gentle to me. I would say it's not even like Erykah Badu. I'm an artist insistent about my shit. It's like Lauryn Hill unplugged. Like, this is all I got. They all got the same chord. And you might not hear from me after these poems, so that's okay. Okay, new shit. This one is after a Curtis Mayfield song called Don't Worry, If There's a Hell Below, We're All Gonna Go. And it's a sonnet chopped and screwed. So I wrote the sonnet first, and then I tried to like apply the like, you know, what a chopped and screwed song does to the poem. Cool. So it's gonna be longer than the sonnet, obviously. All right. Amongst the trillions who singe, who singe, who singe, who singe, the trillions who singe, who sin, who sin, who singe, the trillions who sing, who singe, who sing, who singe, the trillions who sins, who sinned, the trillions who singe, but don't burn, or are we sectioned off by our loudest sin, or by the sum, or do borders persist? Do I get to see Franny again? Do I get to see Franny again? Down, 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 down there, second earth, proof of the too high, not even our mothers made it. Ain't pray hard enough. If there's a hell, we all end up the devil's abundance. You not good, you not good. I never been shit, casually wicked, a citizen. That's how evil I be, a zit of sin. That's how measle I be. Feel me? I voted, I agreed, I voted, I of greed, I voted, I decreed, I agreed to the kill. I'm full grown, taxes paid, I built the bomb, I bloomed the cancer field under the hood, I killed me, mom. I apologize when we get to where she prayed the murder of me. My God. Cool. All right. All right, this poem was written after I went to the Lambda retreat with a couple of gorgeous folks in this chat right now. So it's written for one person in the workshop, and it's I think it's really a K Peters poem. When I really not K Peters. Oh God, what was K's last name? K fucking put it in the chat. Huh?
Gabriel.
K Gabriel, that's what the fuck. K Peters was my high school teacher. I'm drunk. K Gabriel. No, K Peters. I think it's like, yeah. So like, yeah. So this is after K Peters for another person. In the workshop. It's called "It's Okay to Want to Die. You're Not Allowed to Die Yet." Because October will miss you in your little orange sweater and that hat. Think of the mosquitoes who braille your arm each June. Who will feed them and get paid scratch? They like your blood best when they sink the straw into your little ashy. Do you want some palm or skin for a second? And, no. Let me start that line over. I'm tipsy. Okay. It's okay to want to die. You're not allowed to die yet. Because October will miss you in your little orange sweater and that hat. Think of the mosquitoes who braille your legs each June. Who will feed them and get paid scratch? They like your blood best when they sink a straw into your little ashy. Do you want some palm or skin for a second? You have wings. You are no angel, not yet. You'll probably be a demon with me anyways. Do you want to go to hell together? We'll be in the same grade. You can't die. You can't die yet. Who will tell me not to fuck Brian? How am I gonna know? How am I gonna know what golden girl I truly am, or without you or a BuzzFeed quiz? I prefer you over the internet, nigga. That's saying something. I promise you, if you die right now, I will Frankenstein you back to life and kill you, bitch. Please don't die. It's okay to want to. I want to too sometimes. Let's see what death has planned for us. Let's finish getting ready. Watch her come down the stairs like a white girl in a 90s movie who recently took her glasses off to reveal a babe. Who knew death was so hot all this time? Let's crush on death together and stay virgins forever, jacking off, whispering her name into the dark. One day, dude, I know it. Death is gonna fuck us, but until then, let's leave this sexist metaphor and make a list of things to do before we funeral. Go to a lake, fuck randos in the snow, live through a few is this fascism regimes, bend over to pick up a quarter and grunt like a dad, then call each other and say, this getting old shit, fucking trash, can't twerk good no more. The fuck did we do to our knees? Anyways, how you look me in the eye right here. I love you more than Jesus, but less than Jesus. If you die, I have to die too. If you die, I have to die too, so I can get up there and take it back. I take it back. You are the most important Jesus in the world. Don't take away my Jesus, my girl. Cool. All right. This next poem. Sorry I stumbled through so much of that, y'all. You know, drafts. Okay, this next poem is for Odell Beckham Jr. Because he's sexy and theories. Okay. OBJ. Dear Odell Beckham Jr., the internet thinks you're sweet because you smile and dance and dye your hair to daisies. Fuck them naming joy queer and imported in a black man. I hope you are in fact family, at least on vacation, so someone can mug them after Thurn and Long and 40-something longs and complete and confirm, yes, a real life sissy dusted that ass, my Odell to tell them to suck my dick and not have it confused as invitation. I need that crunch, crunch, bleed pile again, boy on padded boy when Jerome says, get this faggot off me. I want to tell him that I didn't want his ashy, fugly ass. I dreamed the day of mauling him, my Odell. How do you do it if you are indeed doing it? I heard a rumor about you. You're so fine. I hope it's true. I'm a purple people eater. Your insides polished lavender. Please write me back. I'll be by my window waiting in shoulder pads and a jock strap, a widow trapped in a blown body thrown back in my cell because they caught me laughing again. Cool. I see you, Michael. You like that purple people eater line. That is a line to the 1980s Minnesota Vikings. Because I'm from Minnesota and I know things about sports because before I was a faggot, I had to pretend to be straight. So I know things about football. Cool. All right. This poem is inspired by a really good Vogue compilation album called Queendom. That was put together by Brielle the Great. And that's Queendom with a W where the U should be. So if you're looking for like some really good like Vogue shit to get down to on this like quarantine, this is my shit. So this is just whatever book I'm working on, there's a lot of like after poems that are just like, you know, spastic. And so they're just called after whatever fucking thing they are. So this is after Queendom. Oh, and it borrows a lot of lines from different chanters that are in that shit. Cool. What time is it? Hold up, I did start a timer. Oh, okay, cool. I got like 8 more minutes. Tight. All right, cool. All right, boom, after Queendom. I feel like a lady. I feel like royalty. Feel the sun. I feel like I'm gonna make this after Imani tonight. This is very much like a bad bitch, like dramatic monologue. So yeah. All right, cool. After Imani, after Queendom. I feel like a lady. I feel like royalty. I feel the sun on my skin and know it's mine, the skin and the sun. I own the moon when she lets herself be owned. Walked for me and your feet mine too. I put the loco in locomotion. I'm cuckoo for a stunt. I stunt and stun. Spun and dizzy the lights, tizzy these niggas stare. I lose myself down the red hole of their gap-jawed want. He can't believe it's real. He make me feel some type of way. Sashay, born Sean, but I Shantae. Stay steady slay. These bitches know the bitch. Say my name in the wind. That bitch know. The distance between mother and man slunt has my well-earned hips. Met God. The heifer stole my look. I'm made in the image of a rotted cunt. Yes, I smoke blunts with any part of my body that opens or puckers, and you best believe seas spread those lies about me. Rumor my hair a hissing knot. So mad I rode their master. When God destroyed Sodom, I was there, wearing silk, red, standing in his wrath like the rain. Yes, everywhere you place land in history, everywhere you land in history, someone is trying to kill me, fuck me, or curse me. The lucky queen, caught looking like a miracle, stubble in a Salvation Army dress, looking very, very rich, bitch. If we died out this world, it would be so yuck, devoid of sparkle and any proper suck. All right, cool. Cool. Tight. This poem is about eating rich or killing them niggas in some way. Also, I will say, I understand I'm a successful poet, and I hope that when it's time to eat the rich, that I'm allowed to prepare and not be prepared. Because I ain't really got that much money, y'all. It's just that as soon as you give a nigga $10, he start trying to give $5 to the hood. And so I be donating shit. But I ain't got no money. You really, you know, like you give a poor nigga like $1,000 and they be like, I'm upper class. And I really have to remind myself, I'd be like, I'm not the rich nigga. like I am worried about the rich. I'm not the rich.
Damn, I'm still broke. How'd that happen?
For real. Okay, cool. Please don't eat to this. Please don't eat to this. I season very well. You can eat me second course. I am down to eat this. I'm down to be the second course. Okay. Just let me make it almost to dessert. Okay. This poem is called "We Have to Kill Them," right? Law, no law. Earth starved and rapists them all. Money, money, and a whole lot of crying when they get caught doing the killing. We have long known it would come down to their ways versus the wind, a storm of us they fear most. So thoughts and prayers and ammunition, so sugar and close schools and protect and serve. So the water rises, so who will use who as a raft inland? Don't let it be you. Don't be no boat, bitch. Okay. Don't be no boat bitch. The whole poem is just don't be no boat bitch. All right, cool. This is called Alive. It's 4 different quansabas, which is a form. Also, I learned this at Lambda. Shout out to Mia. This is a form that is based on Kwanzaa. So it's made up of 4. Well, no, it's made up of 7 line sections that are each 7 words per line. It's confusing. There's like discrepancy of whether it's 4 syllables or 4 words per line, but fuck it. I chose the one that I liked. Okay. Alive. And I think this is my second to last poem. Yeah. Okay, cool. Alive. 1. Dinesh, stop acting shook when Black folks are alive. Quit the dream of early kill and sooner dirt. It's no dream. Free them babies, caged in them sonnets. You are not warden, not reaper, not the fates, not their damn mama. Alive is a thing we can be too. Look. 2. You are not dead and Popeyes is out of spicy. In heaven, they'd never. In heaven, even they biscuits be moist. But heaven ain't yours yet. Them biscuits dry as fuck, so God gave you honey and tea and kisses and lovers who spit in your mouth when asked. 3. The body is the body, and inside there's a person. Imagine that. Imagine Black devoid of death. Imagine us endless until. If they kill you, they kill you. Until then, they can't touch you, boo. We all die, even God. Don't run from death. Let it chase you. Play. 4. 3 girls playing church with a stump as the pulpit. Reason enough for today. You a man passing by, auntie trapped in your deacon body. Don't mean to look like danger, but you were born Boyd. But you don't smell like run. Amen. Gifted right back. Heaven enough for now. Cool. All right, last poem. This is also from Homie. And then I hope y'all have a great night. And thank you once again, Ariel, for just like putting this whole series together. You're a godsend. All right. This is called Acknowledgements. So if you're quarantined with a friend, call them into the room and like hold their hand or something like that. I think my ultimate hope for Homie, and maybe I didn't realize how, like, I think like for everything, like, right, to get past like the like po-biz bullshit and like the expectations that you put on yourself, right? Because like it's easy to be disappointed. Like your book either does or doesn't do the things or whatever. And I had to really figure out what was going to be my win for Homie, outside of what these institutions and this other bullshit can give me. And like outside of money and all that. And my win was really that if somebody would put down my book and like text a friend, that's my win. And so that's all I ask of you tonight is that, I know, even if you feel bad about not checking up on somebody, or you just want to check up on their asses again, tonight or tomorrow, just make some time out of your day just to check in on somebody that tinges your heart, that makes your heart jump a little bit. Okay. Cool. This poem is called Acknowledgements, and I love y'all. I'm gonna say one in between one of these little sections, just because that makes sense for me. And shout out to Thuli Zuma, who I stole that from. And anything else? That's it. This poem is about best friends. I use Facebook to corral other niggas' experiences to write this shit. Here we go. Woo! That is a drink. Goddamn. Acknowledgements. 1. You saved me half a bag of skins. The hard parts, my fave, dusted orange with hot. 2 or 1. You say we can't go to the bar because you're taking your braids out. I come over, we watch Medea while we pull you from you. 1. You make us tacos with the shells I like and you don't. 1. I get too drunk at a party, you scoop my pizza from the sink with a solo cup. All that red. 1. You in the morning, bong water grin, wet chin. 1. You in the lawless dark, laughing like a room of women laugh at a man who thinks his knowledge is knowledge. 1. I text you and you say, I was about to text you, bitch. 1. You cook pork chops the same way I do. Our families in another city go to the same church. 1. You rolling a blunt, holding your son is a mecca. 1. You invite me out for drag queens the night I thought to finally. 1. You pulled over in Mississippi. You pulled over in Mississippi so I can walk a road my grandfather bled on. 1. You gave me a stone turtle. It held your palm scent for a week. 1. I call your mama. I should have edited that shit the fuck out. 1. You request like a demand. Make me some of that mango cornbread and I cut the fruit. Measure the honey. 1. You and you and you and you go in on a dildo for my birthday. You name it Drake. You know me. I need to edit that poem too. Drake's a creeper now. 1. A year with you in that dirty house with that cracked out cat was a good year. 1. At the function, I feel myself splitting into too many rooms of static. You touch my hand and there I am. 1. Do you want to be best friends? A box for yes. A box for maybe yes. 1. Did our grandmothers flee the fields of embers so we could find each other here? Friend, you are the war's gentle consequence. 1. I am the prison that turns to rain in your hands. 1. You at my door the night my father leapt beyond what we know. 1. The branches of silence stay heavy with your petal. 1. You smell like the milk of whatever beast I am. 1. Your poop is news. Your fart is news. Your gross body, my favorite bop. 1. You drunk as an uncle, making all kinds of nonsense sense. I fluent the language between your words. 1. And when we fight, not a ring, but a room with no exit. We spill blood and bandage the wound, clean the cuts with tongues. 1. If luck calls your name, we split the pot. If you wither, surely I rot. 1. We hate the same people. Say, bitch, please, with the same mouth. 1. And before we were messy flesh, I'm sure we were the same dust. 1. Everywhere you are is a church, and I am the pastor, the deacons, the mothers fainting at the altar. 1. As long as I am a fact to you, death can do with me what she wants. 1. You're my body, water. Your body, a trail of hands carrying the river to the sea. 1. I ink your name into my arms to fasten what is already there. 1. You made coming out, coming in from the storm. 1. I would love you even if you killed God. 1. You love me despite the history of my hands, their mangled confession. 1. God bless you who screens my nudes, drafts my breakup text. 1. You are the drug that knocks the birds from my heart. 1. Oh, the horrid friends that were just ships harboring me to you. 1. And how many times have you loved me without my asking? How often have I loved a thing because you loved it, including me? 1. With your ugly ass. 1. At the end of the world, let there be you. 1. My world. Thank you all for coming and joining us tonight. Thank you, Ariel. Real quick before I mute again, and Ariel is going to close us out, I'm assuming. I am doing a reading this Sunday through Castura with Franny Choi, Sam Sachs, Nate Marshall, Allison Rollins, Safia Hello, Krim, Awkward Rich, I believe, is doing that one too. I'm trying to remember who all in the group chat is doing it. maybe Fatima Oscar, maybe not. But that is going to be in benefit for the LGBTQ fund, which is trying to put money towards getting queer folks in prison and ICE detention out during these times and during this quarantine. So if you feel like throwing a little bit of money that way, I would def drop the link. If you put a little bit of money that way, I'm also going to post it on my Twitter at Denez Smith, SMIF. With the underscore in between. Please see there. It's also on Eloisa and I believe the Castura page if you want to go there to see it. I'll drop in the chat. But if you want to drop some money to that and see another poetry reading, it's donation, whatever you can. Please give and please come to that reading if you need a little bit more entertainment from your living room. Thank you, y'all.
Y'all, thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? I'm still crying. I've just been over here like, all right, let me get it together. Let me get it together. Nezzy, thank you so much. You are such a fucking blessing. You are such a gift. Excuse you. How dare you? Thank you. Please continue. Thank you everyone who read tonight. Every night has been such a magical thing, but tonight was just really something special. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Nabila, our first feature. Thank you so much to Victoria, Malcolm, Imani, and of course, thank you to our feature, Denez. Y'all, this has been so amazing. I think that in times like this, it is really important to remember that everything that we do to gather together to reach out to one another is a political act. It is important to continue these small possibles, right? To keep stretching the small possibles because it opens up gateways for us to continue to like resist in large and small ways in our communities with our niggas and friends, with our loved ones, and hopefully to invite in new loved ones. And I'm so excited that, you know, a little reckless tweet on Twitter turned into, you know, poets being able to take home a little bread because they lost a little bread, and for us to be able to feel a little bit less alone. I'm Aria Marie. This has been the Quarantine Reading Series. We might come back in April, you know, I don't know. A little birdie told me to tell you that it's possible. So hopefully you'll join us again when and if we do bounce back on a nigga like magic. Thank you so much to everybody who's over in the YouTube chat, keeping it live. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us here tonight. I will not drop my Venmo, but what I will do is ask you to follow me on Twitter because you can find the information over there. Fine, if you got to. I'm so appreciative. You all, I'm going to continue on Twitter to be posting the links of books and places to support for all of our readers over the past couple of nights. You will be able to find these readings. I'm trying to wrap this up quickly. You will be able to find all of these readings on YouTube, and I'll of course post them when they're all captioned and up and ready. And I would really hope that you all spread them widely. Call your local Planned Parenthood and see if they need any support. Call your local organizations that are supporting incarcerated folks, specifically incarcerated mamas of all genders, incarcerated folks who are really needing support right now. They are our forgotten folks who are, you know, left behind in these conversations. We're talking about healthcare and support. Donate to the hospitals in your vicinity, and call your friends, call your niggas and let them know that you love them and ask them if they're doing okay and listen when they answer honestly. Okay, that's my spiel. Thank you all so much. Be blessed. Continue to hydrate. I love y'all. Reach out to someone if you need some support. And this has been so great. Thank you for joining us. All right. Good night, everyone. Good night to the readers. Good night to everybody on the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. I'm so bad at goodbyes. I've gotten no good at goodbyes. I'm going to just sit here and everybody's
We love you.
Thank you, Ariel.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Love you.
Love you.